Welcome everyone, this is John, living in our 50s, and today it's a slow Sunday with daylight savings, I guess. I don't know. Is it daylight savings? We sprung forward. How does that? So, lost an hour of sleep last night, and it feels like it's earlier than what it is. It's what, 6 o'clock right now? That sun's still up there, so let me switch it around and show you. Still up there. Not sure what time sunset is today. So I just looked it up. Looks like sunset's going to be at 7:29. And right now it's 72 degrees or 22 degrees Celsius out there here in Sherman, Texas. So what have y'all been doing today? Y'all had a relaxing day, I hope. Hopefully you didn't have to go to work. Hopefully just kind of relaxing. I didn't even go to the gym today. Start back with my trainer tomorrow. Took a week off from my trainer and only worked out a couple times, so probably gonna be hurting this week. I don't know. If you caught the celebration of life for Adam, then probably this message is gonna be kind of redundant for you. Not wholeheartedly. I'm looking at it from a little bit different standpoint maybe. But I think Adam's father and some of them kind of touched on this, and basically, what kind of mark are you going to leave on this earth? You know, on the headstone, I remember seeing this once before. You know, you got your date that you were born, and then you got the date where you got the date that you're born, and then on the other side is the date that you die, and in between is just a dash. What does that dash represent? You know, how's your life represented in that dash? So I just ask y'all that. What kind of legacy, what kind of impact have you left for your family, for your kids, for your friends? You know, what kind of legacy have you left? So I thought we'd touch on that just a little bit. So leaving your mark isn't about becoming famous or anything like that. It's, you know, the legacy, like I was talking about. But you know, when you're investing in people, that's where, you know, that's what God's asked us to do. Invest in people. You know, the people that you invest in, what kind of people do you invest in? People at church, you know, people at the gym, maybe, people at your workplace. You know, how are you investing in these people? How are you helping these people to grow or to be more responsible, or, you know, um, just saying a kind word to somebody, maybe even to a stranger. Um, Mentoring somebody, you know, what is it, the Boys and Girls Clubs, America, you know, maybe in your youth group or something like that. So just making sure that they know that they matter. That's first and foremost. What kind of values do you live by? You know, um, are you a hard worker? Are you kind? Are you, you know, when people remember how you lived, those values continue through them. You know, is it something that, you know, people can look and they can see, you know, that you were raised right? I think was what Tom had said today, and that the stories or the memories that you preserve. As I'm going through these videos, these older videos, right now I'm working on the ones from one from a cruise, and working on one for in the Upper Peninsula, and yeah, we hung out with different people at different places and different times, different, you know, sets or groups of people, and you know, I just wonder how do people remember me? Do you wonder that? Um, I saw this great quote. I'll have to look it up in a little bit, but it was in the Celebration of Life. It's like travel fills you with stories to tell, or something to that effect. And I thought that is great because I've got all these videos out there, that all this video footage on several hard drives, that I want to turn them into videos for YouTube, but they weren't really shot for YouTube necessarily. So it just kind of it's a little tricky. The one on Mackinac Island that went in out today, I watched it most or half of it, I guess, with my wife, and it's just it's it hits different, 5 years later, 6 years later, whatever it is. But what kind of work, do you do? Me in the RV repair business, I can help people. I can help someone possibly who's strapped, who can't actually afford to have a regular RV tech come and do the work. So, hopefully some of these videos will help to encourage someone. I know I saw a lot of comments that people lived through Adam, I guess, since we're on that subject, lived through him and his travels and stuff, places they would never get to go. They got to see because of his travels. So that leaves a lasting impact. Adam had an impact on this world. And I know he had to have known it, right? But, in those last few videos, I guess, that last set of videos when he was traveling, when he started talking more about scripture and remembering stuff he learned in Bible study, and it was just really cool for him to see it, and the stories that he had of, his dad teaching him or, in Sunday school and what have you. It's just really cool because that kind of leads into, what kind of faith and spiritual influence have you left? For many people, the biggest legacy is pointing others towards faith, hope, and purpose. That's it. Pointing them towards those things is such a good thing. Proverbs 13:22, a good person leaves an inheritance to their children's children. And that inheritance isn't always money. Sometimes it's wisdom, faith, and example. A simple way a simple way to think about legacy is, did you love people well? Did you help someone when they needed it? Did you live with purpose? If the answer is yes, you've already left a mark. Did you love people well? I think I have. I hope I have. Did you help someone when they needed it? I think so. And did you live with purpose? I think everything I do is with purpose. Possibly a great book on that is Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. I can remember reading that book and what a difference it made for me. So I think so, yeah. I think I can say yes to all those, but I think I'm still writing my legacy, still working on that. So no matter where you're at, what you've done in the past, if you feel like you've screwed up, I know I've screwed up, so I'm a perfect example here. And I'll continue to screw up, but you can always start fresh, start new. Perhaps you've done some damage that person, you can't ever get them to, I'm getting all this cut, by the way, but you can't ever get them to forgive you all the way. Well, start fresh with what you have, okay? Be intentional, be on point, and be there for someone. Yeah, I know that I have a busy week this week, so I'm trying to think right now how I'm gonna continue doing the vlog this week. I'll fit it in. Hopefully, I'll have some type of some content for you this week. It's just gonna be a busy week. It's that season, y'all. I mean, I had to get busy at some point. I started this when I was slow and didn't really think about how am I going to continue to do this when I get busy. So now I'm gonna find out, I guess. So anyhow, I just wanted to leave y'all with that. How's your legacy? Are you building it now, or have you yet to start it? Or is it complete? You know, those are the things that, I look at. I need, just watching that celebration of life, there's a lot of people that loved Adam. And, yeah, I, it's really kind of the reason why I started this channel. In case you don't know, I started this because there were so many comments that people couldn't believe he was gone. And then once he was gone, it was kind of like, what do we do now? So, like I always say, if the Lord wills, we'll see you in the next vlog. God bless.
He was my brother. He was my friend. Thank you, everyone.